Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make the mermaid tail earrings featuring the 2-hole Ginko beads and the Cymbal Bead endings. Now this is a really pretty pair of earrings, and I made two different versions because I kind of wanted you to see how it can look if you go for more of a colorful one, which is the one I'm going to do here. Or you can also do like a monochromatic one and it still has that beautiful sort of scale-like design to it. So this one is all done in silver, and then the one I'm going to do here is going to be that really colorful one. But I did want to point out to you, and I brought out a selection of the 2-hole Ginko beads that we have, so you can just really take a look at all the beautiful colors. We have everything from saturated to shiny to pearlized to matte. Lots of different lots of different colors to choose from when making this type of simple design. So you can really have a lot of fun with these Ginko beads. Okay, so what are we going to need to make this? So the supplies are going to be, we're going to use the FireLine, and I brought out the two different colors that we have. We have the crystal and the smoke. Now for my design here, I designed it with the crystal, but if you are using darker beads, you can use the smoke. And in my video here, I'm going to use the smoke so that you guys can see that thread because it's a little bit of that darker, kind of grayish thread. All right, we're going to need a thread zap and a pair of chain nose pliers. And then I already have 2 beading needles here, threaded with about 3 feet of my smoke FireLine. Now the other things that we're going to need is of course our Ginko beads. I have my Cymbal Bead ending there. And I have a little earring post here, and it's got a little loop there on the bottom, and that is actually an open loop, so we're going to be able to use our pliers to open that and attach. And then I have some 15-0 seed beads here. Now these are Toho rounds, and they're 15-0 because they just need to fill in a teeny tiny little gap there. And then because these earrings do have a little bit of weight, I wanted to bring out the bullet clutch earring backs. Some of the earring posts that we have come with the little ear nuts, but this is going to add a little stabilization. It's by no means heavy, but it is still glass beads, and there's that big metal component at the top, so it can be a little bit on the heavier side, but it's still a very comfortable wear. So that's why I wanted to use a post and one of those nice big earring backs. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to be doing here. So I have this really beautiful pattern, and you can see kind of side by side, I've broken it out so you can see how all those Ginko beads are going to kind of sit together. Now the Ginko beads, if you're unfamiliar, they have 2 holes and they go up through the petal there, through both sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our thread and both of our needles, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this all the way up through the beads there going to the top. So what am I going to do? I'm going to try to catch those 2 down there at the bottom, and then these guys here, and then this one up here. So the 3 to the side are going to kind of sit out. And there's a reason I'm kind of breaking this out for you, because I want it to look really easy. So what we're going to do is take one needle, and I'm going to catch that hole, and then on that pink one, catch the inner hole, on that purple one, that outer one, on the blue. Trying to get my hand out of the way. I'm trying to show this so it makes the most sense to you guys. All right, so you see how I have my one needle going all the way through that side? So I'm just going to bring that through. Let me move my cymbal out of there. Pull that through. Kind of set my needle off to the side. And then I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of attaching these last 2 little guys here to create that center with the other side of my thread. So we're going to go up through all those little holes there. All right, and then I'll go ahead and pull that through. So this is what you should have so far. I know it seemed maybe a little bit more complicated, but just to really show you how it steps out, that's the easiest way to show it. Now this green bead right there at the top is going to sit in the center of our cymbals, but this is where those little 15-0 beads are going to come into play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my left needle off to the side there. So I'm just going to work with my right hand now. So I'm going to pick up my cymbals. I'm going to pick up one of those 15-0 beads, and I'm going to go through one of the center loops. So if we're counting, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going through that 3rd loop there. And then I'm going to pick up one more of those little seed beads and kind of string it all the way down here. So it sits just inside there. So now because I want that top row to all be green, I'm going to kind of sneak my little green bead up there. And that next one is going to be that purple one. So we're going to go down through this side. So we're going to go through that green bead, through that blue bead there, through the purple, and all the way down through that pink bead. So you see how that line comes down through there? All right, we're going to pull that tight. So here's where we're going to start to do some turnarounds. And you'll notice that I kind of pull on both sides just because I want really good tension here. All right, so now we're going to turn it around and we're going to go up through that sort of first one we did, but we're not going to be focusing on that red bead. So we're going to turn it around and create a little thread bridge at that pink bead. So now I'm going to pick it up because I can handle it a little bit now. And I'm going to sneak my needle through. So here's the deal, guys. You want to keep really good tension, but you're going to need to kind of be sneaking your needle through here because it's going to start to get tight, which is what you want. But every time you do a little thread pass, just give it a little extra tug there. All right. So now we're going to kind of repeat a little bit, and we're going to go through that little 15-0 that's right there, that little cymbal, and that other little 15-0, just like so. All right, and then we're going to go down through that same thread pass, but instead of going all the way down through that pink bead, we want to get our needle so that it comes out that purple bead, just like so. All right, and again, just kind of giving that a little tug on my tension, kind of pulling from both sides. There we go. All right, so now we're going to create another little thread bridge, and we're going to go back up through that purple bead, and we're going to actually pick up our blue bead here and go up through that green bead. There we go. Make sure he flips around for us. Okay, so now picking up one more of our little Toho bead, and we're going to go through that fourth cymbal ending there. And here's a really neat little trick. So we have these little sort of knobs here, and we don't have anything on this side, and I have to anchor my thread. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up one more of the seed beads, and we're just going to go straight back through there. So we're just going to go straight back through that one little extra seed beads that we strung. So we're going to go through our cymbal and then our seed bead. All right, now here's where you're not going to need to really focus on that tension. So you might be able to kind of pull it out to the side with your finger like that, and then just tighten it back up. All right, so now we're going to go down through. And again, just kind of giving it an extra little tug there. You see it kind of pull together. That's what you want. We're going to go down through that purple bead. And now I'm going to turn it around and just go up through only that purple bead. And you can tell that mine's getting a little tight, which is, again, what we want, but just be careful. You don't want to snap your needle or snap your thread. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to set that aside. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to repeat that on the other side there. So you can either flip your work around or you can leave it as is. I'm going to leave mine as is so it hopefully makes sense to you guys. All right, so what we're going to do, and I can move a little quicker, pick up one of those seed beads, go through that second loop there, pick up another seed bead, and now we're going to go down through a green bead. I can kind of set this up for you here. And there's my purple bead. So we're going to go down through that green, through the blue, through the purple, through the pink, down there. All right, so now we're going to turn it around and go back up through the pink bead. And we're going to go all the way back up as we did before. And if you can do it all in one thread pass, go for it. If not, you can just see that I'm kind of testing how tight everything is, so if it doesn't work, I don't force it, because don't forget, guys, we are working with glass beads, so you really don't want to get to the point where you're chipping a bead. And I just got to sneak my needle in there because I want to go across through the 15-0. Come on. There we go. Working with those tiny, tiny beads. All right, so I'm through that 15-0, going through that cymbal there, and that 15-0, I was able to catch it at the same time. And now we're going to go down through, but don't go through the pink bead this time. Come out that purple bead. And we're going to turn it around. And we're adding our last bead, which is our blue bead here. There we go. Up through that green bead. And we're going to do the same little thing that we did on the other side. So pick up one of the Tohos, go out to the side, give it a little tug. This is where we really want to tighten everything up. Pick up another Toho, and we're just going to go right back through. There we go. Just giving it a little tug. All right, and go through a little 15-0 there. And go down. All the way through that purple bead. And turning it around once more, just going up through that purple bead. You can tell things are getting really tight in there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is there's a thread bridge that's connecting these two beads. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shoot my needle down through the center there and kind of come up around the other side there. And I'm putting my needle through that little loop, and I'm just going to pull tight and make a little knot there and have everything cinch up. And then I'm just going to do the same on the other side. So the reason I didn't tie off on the first side is just in case I need to go back and sort of adjust any of that tension, because we really want it to sit nicely. So you can you have that opportunity to do so, to kind of continue to tug on it if you end up having issues. But that way you can tie it off at the same time. And we can use our thread zapper to zap them off at the same time as well. So when I press that, that's just heating up the tip there. And this works great for FireLine. So you can just come in, just sort of zap off that thread. There we go. All right, let's put our safety back on. Set that aside. All right, and the last thing we want to do is we're just going to take our chain nose pliers, and like I said, this is a little open loop here at the back, so I'm just going to give it a little gentle twist to open it. I'm going to slip on my cymbal bead ending there, and because this is so tiny, I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way, but you're just going to close it up because it's going to work just like a little jump ring. But there you have your lovely pair of earrings. And like I said, I just want you to sort of see how stiff but flexible that is, and that's really what you're looking for there. So that is how to make the mermaid tail earrings. And you can see that those little Tohos, so when you're choosing your color there for the 15-0 Tohos, the reason I chose the gold and the silver is because they kind of just continue that little knob, because here at the base is our little seed bead. So it kind of continues that design all the way down. So that's just a little tip. If you do decide to do this with other colors, you can of course adjust that as well. All right, thank you so much for joining me. You can get this full tutorial and see even more videos by heading over to Beadaholique.com. And if you liked what you see here, be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button to get all the latest from Beadaholique.